Bueno tuweta na mbere kwatera na batu tuko barware ni aratu na ntuko ya mwanya buru na ntuko ya rware ne okumenithia Mpumi cia Ithurano birabire thetie kwithira abike Ithurano ntuko ya rware na bionde ni maeneo 24 na metho yetu ya focusite bonene kiri shombunge kia mbere north itomine nikuo munini wa rais Professor Kithure Kindiki aumite kirimene na former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua kinya umwite kirimene ki kithurano kiri kio kierio kia mwaka yo 2027 because ndikuthiritinya kwina makarika ya antu kwithira bakiwatana mashati antu batiwa na gurario ntereche malava na araitu kuona kinya bunduki not kaspul itone kinya bunduki ya mheshimiwa Peter Kaluma kinya yo kirikana witi waneo na mantu ya tironeka barely almost 2 years to take kithurano kama mwaka 2027 kithurano kika 2027 nibu kithira ki reflect probably the current to Arwari arena batu kulokera 23578 niyo namba ya SMS kithira kitoma ntumiri ciaku oratu wita na mbere na Arwari ro na tukethenya tukiwatanira imo kwa mwana atangazaji betu barabara intere cia mbere north kenda bethira betuonia ura mbicha yongwa ikwithira itana mbere barabara ngwate kwa ri tuku Abarwari mantu ya twina Kathuri Maregera ni mutaalamu mantu yigi siasa twina SG wakia makeno peu Miru Karute Franklin na ndina askofu wa vijana mheshimiwa Kirinya Mwenda so ethira uge expect kuibwa rwariro na opinion cio na mathoni yo uko ni Ithurano bira bithirite bikibwithika utuko ya Rwari karibuni sana asante no mheshimiwa mbambirie na wewe because Babu by the candidate wa DP ari kiamene kia bus
yes
ibo amunankanire areta kiri kiama kia DP so imbichere ko kana ilatirire ko batumire kuona turite muntu ato amwendi yao na thai ende ikare ya 2 horse race between wa muthende wa UDA na Newton Karish wa DP.
Thank you Edward. Allow me ke muthikiri na mutegeri wetu na rakundere mwire karibu sana ke mubango yoyo toyo ntuko Rwari mbere buruka mbuge kinyakire ya Meru kiurio kyo mburi nya Meru mbere ne okerwa ndewa ira ciari most prolific ni aromba wa ndewa rombo eto sambaza mbeu igachoka so Karisha ari kiamene ketu ke bas na kulingana na nonto itwari na a meeting NEC kiama tomba kuelezwa ni both the former party leader ya Kiraitu Murungi na mtu aitwa Lenny Kivuti the current party leader batwira siasa chiambere north buraikari chieta na tribes na ande clans ira chiri ukarandiri yele ibetekanirerie that nontugiteke kirare kia DP if you can recall CS Ruko athuri na kiama kia DP so nende number 2 mtu achu ni igitekia CS no anu Muturi so where now it is only fair that giteke choka ke Muturi lakini ende ba elia within mbere north Muturi atina candidate is strong kana atina ndewa prolific ya branco bakweleza so tireo ba rombere ndewe wito Newton Karish that is how Karish ended up being in Democratic Party ya CS Muturi former CS Muturi so iboko karikire kenda Karisha umba weta KDP na I think so far so good he has performed very well I think across the country Montombe tekwithira thithite siasa in fact I would say antobaraba opposition tekaba dithirite Karish siasa zaidi bora Karish already etete aidithirite siasa way is a big brand the outcome notwithstanding I think he has done exemplary well.
Wow. Yes. Karute kwimbicha to na Rwari Bere North Muturi aiwatanya kwe MCs bakumite nara juba Kirinyaga na kana Nyeri bakwata na yanya no bawata mashati so bicera tukona rwari ni ka reflect 2027 ni kedre kari
Pambere bana endwant kam ankethe momeru ende warare na boyelembue our leaders are behaving in a very funny way. You're not the party agent. Rokering kuthikiritie JB akearia. Or having been given mandate ya kwetha way within all the stations ukiona abrako kuendelea. Our automatically as a party leader bati kuthande kuombe. But that's tibo sheria kuo. Oga kwetha otenjeti okiama. No tetumi weru woka rungamira kana woka oversee what is happening na yabura kaluma kuthithagia then it is wrong kinyoka ya kuthwa ko kawi one of the competitors ubatere kuringa kura yeku waita peacefully boetera matokeo because kwina antu barabu entrusted na kuthuthuria kana okaria kana kuthiulunga bakiolelege what is happening and then the report is made to you. But as a candidate, utumba kuringa kura then you endelea kuthiurunga polling station okay you see wathithio wa kara yako Muturi is a renowned person in Mbere and Embu na ria kathithio wa kara yaka ko intimidate people barabekianine so rimwe onto ya bravo karika kinya kuata na mashati na maybe mtu meare man pamapatitha besoba rukiri ya rura na Muturi ari the speaker of the National Assembly for 10 years nethirito ya Anthony General ikundimin kana ikwina miathi ewe so aimze utejekite onto ya burathi dire maybe yokiona kiraito enganita mtu miro muringa ngundi te kundi look very awkward but antu baba kuthoma kemze yora akaringa kura aita ofisi ine wa karande aetera matokeo so one of the problem na buranda analyze mantu ya narua ni antu barabate batokari na mandate ya kwetha beki those polling stations by treko which is very wrong if you're not kitho titomia ya agent yo weta kurungamira super agent utibatere then weta yani everywhere you're there you're here yabara you see everybody was there everybody they on the yogari Embu kuinya batatu ra nyomba ibo kari Embu everybody was trying to be there so that is very wrong and yes and bare kuibonya nkura ya thimu bangi kwenda kwana kero twinde Embu turi bwana ende kinya tha kuibo mututo na kamerene kurinya chore bako baingi muno bakari na Embu but itekuanika bakuringa kura but I'm saying kinyantu batina rutha ro gwithiro bakari na umia what are you going to do there ugakuthote tumiwe super agent ugakuthote we coordinator of mantu yau what are you doing there so generally barabaretete barabakosete commotion nambi it is our top leaders barabetre kwitha in those polling stations na bakubati kwitha bai maeneo mbunge yao kana baro ofisine beterete resort no nto campaign nirarire kuringwa na twathire kuringa campaign barabonde bararinga
so ringera karotera twiro ngekura weto wakarande nyumba wetera resorts imbonera CS ruko governor wa Embu Cecil Mbarire paita kiritu pe kuringa kura na pengwa ni akaribara pa itite kuringa kura kana maybe batukari pe kuringa kura nukuone aka Muturi akenda weta ukuma nyumba na antu baba ange bakithio lunka ituone pe kuringira kura
bwana bwana Edward anke di Amiru mbere tuliamwe na ndi chiria irio berema tia kumanage gituo na kuringithia kura in general sheria iu chonde chikibwega muno na kiri polling station au githirwa kiri ka fence kara kayo nobody uburi kwithirwa inde ni ara weto uringa kura ubuira wana lakini nande the moment outside that ara kwirigeri nande au wangeome ingu donga polisi ekenda ku disperse ute sheria kuga umeo kana withruka leo as long as ukuma kiri polisi ara kwirigeri nande polisi bobo mbotega bakona aja kukagea thina nande ekabwira umeni bwane kuga kethera muturi no yete karanja na getera ukarotea kuga it is very true mtu wale AG mtu wale minister mtu wale speaker me utuburi kwethera igwe ugweta kugwa tanto mashati you demean yourself ko chinde kamono no turande kethera wo kadi jeure mbira ntu baku baraba leo nande ntu bangu baba njarali bakageta tena he was a party leader na party leaders ibasa ina code of conduct ya election they sign it so na no mwaka withdraw ke respecta mtu kuro rongi kura so waja kire the actual management yourself stecheku no mwaka determine how you are going to manage yourself wako akuburi gwita kalinga kura kinya kedero ate ananja na buri kudora na control point yewe kana gireta command center ageta karana ndaka karake monitai what is happening in every kituo ondurande akirwa na orally ana uangi na uangi the other thing is election yeje in stakes in ni very high nonto everybody wants to make into get our statement kora ni popular ngabi so iketu mikona ukarote kuganto nyaba meru bakoli nao nataka bakolinga kura te ameru akenye kule Nairobi antoba Nairobi kwa inyo kuona yake mtandao bakiwa Kalenjini bakoleta kuma Nairobi angabao so there were so many people so mtu aikirande uwo kuwa sirimbarire governor na baruko okethera pressure kaigwitia kandi mtu aikura ndera gukarao na ndo kambire kwa ngaratana lakini the actual sense of election ni kwa muringi kura kanya kale alinge kura in peace ndo atini kire chapter 7 of the constitution na 6 ni kueleza bwega it must be secure election kienda ya no mwaka very verifiable no mwaka very secure as in no mwaka yona ni muringi kura aja akalinga kura in one piece na adire kuringa kura ane lakini muno kare kwegendoge kumbiche kumaira ya kwethirwa security jaka police batuko ina proper control nondo ategara muturi mwaka eta mwaka akawata mtu mwaka muringa where was the police nondo nyoke leo yewe kweta kukwata mtu mwaka ukaenda muringa me that one is an act of violence na ibabu iliko kwatwa so the police was supposed to take action.
Wow. Now, ngwitikia thai resort kwambiria ukinyakiri Tallying Center ya Bere North na Arauna ukari nende kwambiria kuintroduce mantroba kithira bakibwithia na Mpumi ciambirite kuma kaitene ka na together twikwa utali bwa Mpumi cionthe uri kwithira yita na mbere onto ituo bingiro tha 11 na thai bari tayari nendo projects Mpumi uri kwithira ikiumira together tutariria ura Mpumi cionthe iri kenda tukiumaruka tutie kinya wo ita kumama no kumenya no mubunge umweru wa Bere North tuita na mbere na arwariro wetu au mushimu wa Kirinya.
Yes.
Kithurano kiki ya Bere North outcome ire kauma either upinzani butsinde kana butsindwe kana thirikari itsinde kana itsindwe pukethira bakirita statement yakariate.
Well, when I don't, I think in the URETERI on Sunday to chunki and this by-election is not just another by-election. A by-election in a lot of impact kire different factions chia politics chia to chia Kenya. Number one, okay ya kuona Kenya the amount of resources invested this by-election, especially in Bere, the amount of human resource, the finances, and even the emotions around all this matter. ni ukura for both sides is a matter of life and death. Ibonto yo ginya to a point where ngoikwa my two seniors here by fault Muturi, which again I also want to join them in faulting in Monterey. Menya kuira wa ngondwira nkoroni oyo nangingi kuramamira kana nyanjira. So now the person of Muturi who is a speaker emeritus, the person of Muturi who is a member of parliament, the person of Muturi who was the attorney general of this country, the person of Muturi who was an advocate for many years, actually even a judge. Yeah, he was even a judge. Okay.
Primary school, police station 1 of 1. Number of votes cast in favor candidate. Ideri Lawrence Mwaneki 001. Boy Duncan Ireri 011. Morenge Isaac Gere 000. Dwega Newton Kari 034. Gary Albert Moremi 000. Gary Daniel Ireri 000. Jero Lewa Mudende 026. Jero Rubed Morivi 000. Waiharo Simon Mwaura 0. Okay. 000, and the total number of valid vote cast is 072. Polling station count, total number of registered voters in the polling station 120. The total number of rejected ballot papers 001. The total number of rejection objected to ballot papers 000, and the total number of disputed votes 000. And the total number of valid vote cast 072. Thank you.
Yuri Mpumi ira ciambĩrĩtie ũkinyakĩri Tallying Center ntere cia Kago mbere North na together twita na mbere okuoni Mpumi ura iwite na mbere Mheshimiwa nkuitire. Yes.
Yeah. So nende banadwa ndero tukuatire mtu ya Muturi tukiona meeting violence on live televisions and social media itimbi change ya nonto. What this is sending, even as we get towards 2027 elections, is that kukethira kwina violence irayo ikethira yongozetwo i some of the party leaders themselves, ikethira yongozetwo ni top leaders of this country. Na kwa arrest situation ni kinyete to that level, then it will be very difficult, it will be unfortunate. I think Iburane and some of these things chitawa independent electoral commission, independent police authority, whatever independent is, I think Intobi are never independent anywhere. Not to by now mtu yanania bati kuthira changed for what kuthira ena violence. Actually, IBC, it is from that moment ibati ku find kinyane kiama kia DP party leader kwa tu kanya, there is somehow there must be a way of ku discipline kinya party leaders baraba kuthira bena tabia ya ile ko, because sheria cha Kenya ni atire mtu kethira bomuata ena makosa fulani, there are procedures che weta cha kuata mtu. We've seen the same thing inyana araura Malava constituency, turona muntu aritingu completely akauro ma etete. We have seen a lot of chaos and bloodshed, especially in araura Kasipul constituency inyakuo kaile na umetandao ne urona nto bauri, proper. So which again spells not very good news for the country, especially au tweterete. But now back to kiuria gyaku bwana Edward, ni ati the outcome mantu yaya not just Bere North, inyogeta nara Magarini constituency, okay awita nara ura Kasipul, okay awita saidi cha Malava constituency, na many other places that iko karika. Inya Turkana, actually there are by elections even in Turkana. Okay ako yeah, even Mandera there are by elections that are ongoing there. So pura unkona kuikarone atiri nini ka define nya the alliances ireka yana alignment ireka etate ikeya after this election non tukwa tuika ira tuweta the united opposition kwa tuika they will not even garner a half of all these seats, then ikuona ni babue kinyabue boatene o if you want to project now tuka ya tumera prediction model edai ko predict what may happen in the 2027 is that barabaka 50+1, whether it is the government side non to the Ithurua government side then the ODM na UDA bawatanirite union government side ingi ne united opposition urethera IDP urethera IDAP Kenya urethera IDCP urethera Wiper, all those parties that are aligned to the united opposition na nyebo bukaithira bateona at least half of the nini positions ire ikuruiro thai. It tells you again also not to predict whoever will be fronted by the opposition kana side ikungana nye 50+1% may be really an uphill task. Number 2, gethiria kenda bange bombo changia especially a Bere North au yatuira atiri non to this is a contest between Gachagua and Kindiki. We babange menya maya kuina mero wa kuina muambia na munyochuru. So baba ile ibo agambia baranene babange kuma ba CS roko ba Cecily bauni anyochuru saidi na yao Kindiki kuma ba Muturi ba you know babange ba Lentore na ba nyabone anyochuru. So agambia iba ile so contest ibura turererete we want to see urachinda kethira achinda na very big margin ekethira achinda na very big margin then tukethira tukimenya clearly no mwene mulima. Are we together? Aya kwa tuika the margin will be very little then ibabati kumenya mulima kabakuruira baba ile you know. Now of course inyayo bachinda na smaller margin tukamenya sasa nani ndio ekethira ina huge repercussion.
Wow.
Yes.
Karuti yenda ukiri statement yeu kwa professor na Gachagua. You see Mount Kenya East nithirite especially abunge bakiganga bakawa if Kindiki atithira running mates 2027 then batui tutithira twithirikare. Now take this scenario. Abunge baina tutabona kire campaign ile endelea iturona Kindiki na rari na arabunge batu tabona inyana on lakini nurabona Meru na. So what happens if Kindiki loses this election? A big supporter wa candidate wa UDA. What if tutre wa atsinda? What if in case ya atsinda natakumbikio kara?
Tutebate regori what if he loses? Na tuweterete result ibate rotura tugera na now the outcome is here. What next? And I will not preempt what may happen, but result siege because no wait na mbere na kuthomwa na antuba
it is either you either win or lose.
Antuba ibete teboya. Secondly, it will be a big blow if it happens. Ekedo ere puluene monokere His Excellency the Deputy President because to meet Mount Kenya East whereby na kubokwithora command this area, but from where I sit Deputy President Ithurano are teneke for the last 1 year. the other time I senator wa Tharaka Nithi and then became the internal security minister. Na tikari na touch ya Kenya yombe as per se. Ari senator and then eta majority leader then yatuika deputy speaker. So nenda compound profile yewe because somehow kwamba kwitha kwikana kari kinyana ara kwetu kwita wangita na mutuati na katichi who is the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, lakini kakorua no wari the fourth president wa Kenya kana the third kana the second, but itila nonto ithiturite Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru. So professor is building profile yewe na tutimbo monginji na kithurano kimwe kia mbere. One thing kinya wa muthende kana Karisi ashindete ki tuti attribute effort yegere Karisi kana kiri wa muthende. Why? Because itikeke inchaneli ni antu bonde kumangavana senator na bange kumanja opposition the same 2027 utithwa wina kirinde kiu la IMCA areto campaign ro ni kinyama senator MCA nonto nara puko Turkana kora kuonde kurari na by elections ya MCAs every atutumire nyambi atiake na kirinde kiumite national bia mabika birite candidate bo patika lose 2027 it will be a different story. Ne ara tu ndikwenda utumira that statement lakini atiri omuntu akaithetera wengwa somehow kinyapati somehow ite ya mono ground okay gutha pati ite wero structured kutuike ke yote the candidate bayo na ara ground manto ye ya tauni wa kwa ibo coordinate ibanywire iba woshere kinya the candidate na mteto ekare ya thire kariu. So 2027 either Karisi kana wa muthende akayako expect athani akethirwe na kirindi John Point na wa batethetie ngui atethirwe na wa rithirwa akithaitaira kwawe bakimani barari kubatethwa bena kila mtu atakuwa kwa constituency yake. So what I may say thai tutiomba kwa attribute win either na kinya tutiomba ku discredit deputy president kana kinya the former because kweyoto abathimira taira baketha baki I am deputy party leader as professor, the other one is the party leader. Areitho akithi urunga Kenya yonthe na kwenda kundelivete ke MCA ke senator ke women rep and all those seat.
So ukondo watilau tuitakiri tomiri yengi kumakiri arao tere chia Better North
in favor of each candidate. Ideri Lawrence Mwaneki 003, Boy Duncan Ideri 012, Murenge Isaac Gary 000, Dwega Newton Karaoke 128, Gary Albert Moremi 000, Gary Daniel Ireri 000, Jero Reo Wamudende 068, Jero Ruben Moreidi 000, Waiharo Simon Mwaura 000, and the total number of valid votes cast 211. Polling station count. Total number of registered voters in the polling station 324. Total number of rejected ballot papers 002. Total number of objected to ballot papers 000. The total number of disputed votes 000, and the total number of valid votes cast 211.
Huo Mpumi siweta na mbere si stream tere chia kago na arora. Karutino kari at the end of closing your point kenda mbita kiri kathurima.
So what I'm saying kangu atiri the outcome era tukona na arua itithirwe ikitwo a proper picture ya 2027 as per urantu bakuthwani muno because every side nithiritwe tumirite inya indito muno na kinya bara bacindite iti nurenete kinya kithani United Opposition nurene ba Senator Methu ba Mukunji ba everybody bara baitanagia na former deputy president na kinya Kalonzo bonde batikite Embu kuwatia Karis Ngui. So 2027 it will not be like that. Either party leader no akulogere kwa kuntu kwa imwe aitete kwa babange because na kwenda kundeliver ite bibi nyete ne ya ndigoro yombe.
Okay.
So it may not currently it umbo clear picture mono because kinya turnout ya ringi kura no kuibwa ne antu 99 antu 50 bara baturite kuringa kura narua. So katoete itangazo then we make the other judgment.
Okay. Ringera one I feel could disagree na Karutin because president aki rutaru kwa MP amwethi waziri itari deliberate move maybe ya kuthima kithira nkia kuyukite me DP kete yare yake ndene ya National Assembly harite muturi yes alafu amurutire mubunge wa mwethi waziri. Do you feel ya kaenda kuthima ona muntu nkumuthani mutorio we ari waziri na county uno yo na chairperson yo UDA na deputy president noe 20 kilometers kuma kwawe wita bere north. Do you feel kwe power kuthima au ya kisiasa?
Okay, mathugani tukajukia mantu raja bumirite na tukambiria kwa line na ura tuguthugania tuthugania mantu maingi muno which may not be true.
Yeah.
Lakini nande look at it this way. President akejukia ruku is because ibale bakole manona na muturi ukalika na Cold War zira bale acho.
Yeah.
It was a serious Cold War. Na nande ako mujukia nendete kuthirwa na another very strong person from Embu. Kena nande wa Embu awakiria na Mount Kenya East in general. And that's why that's why he picked the Ruku because according to the MPs Barabaleo Embu Barabaleo Ruku was the one who was looking like na wetikaniria na president. So akejukia ataka ajukirie numera Ruku kena nande create a space a contest waters ali it was for that purpose. Ujo tukomenono ndio muita I must pick somebody from Embu to make sure that I control the temperatures. Tia Embu, minding that also who kuga chairman of UDA no kumbai Embu. The other nande is a campaign nande the campaign factor is a namantuja mingi mono. One kwena selection ya candidate.
Watela ude gera kidogo.
Polling station 1 of 1 Shabogo ECK Church Grounds. Polling station of 1. The number of votes cast in favor of each candidate. Ireri Lawrence Mwaniki 000. Boy Duncan Ireri 003. Murenge Isaac Gary 000. Duiga Newton Karaoke 015. Gary Albert Muremi 000. Gary Daniel Ireri 000. Jero Reo wa Mudhende 020. Jero Ruben Morivi 000. Waiharo Simon Mwaura 000. And the total number of valid votes cast 038. Polling station counts. Total number of registered voters in the polling station 053. Total number of rejected ballot papers 000. The total number of objected to ballot papers 000. And the total number of disputed votes 000. Total number of valid votes cast 038.
Tweta na mbere kwamukira Mpumi uria wita na mbere pole ringera no ntubo kuita lakini no mwanga tuikie findi uria wita na mbere ya live stream so kwe point you
what is happening kura chia lingwa ge polling station kwena that form that that 4 that 5 that 4 eu gere ujure representing officer ni form eu ikweja nande kire returning officer for constituency na nio ikudhomo.
And it's the final.
It is the final one. Form ile ja nande au kireke kuendelea kumau iku ku add one to another. Kena nande kuja na the final figure na apart from officials by IBC every party na every candidate na irukanya kakwethirwa ina agent ko confirm agitangazo every no kuandika kena nande at the end of it uringa toto kena ule bagitangaza chiao na go no kumenya. So that's what is happening. Na ikitumi no mwaka athome mbere everybody for for verification. It must be verifiable for verification purpose. Ikitumi kuona akithoma kena nando ro kaandika figure chiawe kedro andika different, that's your problem. Na form eu wije agent ro karikie polling station aina that result. So agent ro yao kire constituent tallying center na agent yo the same party ro karikie polling station they also lies kedro figure ko do more different ne ra karikie polling station agent ro kari now akamwira. So even the alignment zinaendelea. So what I was saying, ana kire ko select the candidate or party kana candidate robo ko enda rongama for gitikire. Sometimes ara ikwedro ko ina manto nondo kedro maybe party leader enda mtojo omba kedro the people who are campaigning for, let's say Mudende, they were not even consulted on Mudende kedro ale candidate na itwirija menge mono party leader kauga ikadorima nande mukale maboka mupinga the reason why augere ikadorima kana no you can't know what is the reason why. Lakini ande when you come out to the ground maybe yote je mtu kwa kana mtu ukateka za campaign mbere wa Mudende atira very vocal ki campaign ile ututerega wa yani akiara za karishi urega wa buru akinya kina na leta inya gekera microphone inde rembo roga itie guru. So campaign yewe
watila utu form chia kuni kudhomo tule
number of votes cast in favor of each candidate. Ideri Lawrence Mwaneki 000. Boy Duncan Ideri 011. Morenge Isaac Gary 000. Dwega Newton Karaoke 072. Gary Albert Muremi 000. Gary Daniel Ireri 000. Jero Reo Amudende 029. Jero Ruben Muribi 000. Waiharo Simon Mwaura 000. Total number of valid votes cast 112. Polling station count. Total number of registered voters in the polling station 172. Total number of rejected ballot papers 000. Total number of rejection objected to ballot papers 000. The total number of disputed votes 000, and the total number of valid vote cast 112.
All right. Tueta na form huu kuthoma. Mea tuire au tala so tukauma atu na results. Tuketa ni choose. Tukauma atu na final results. Tia mbere no. Yeah.
Kura chalingo na ale presiding officer na wa no mwaka ezi ya wale te form we etegewe ni saini bweka ni everybody and everybody kathoma. So tuakara tu ikirisiva as we go. Mwaka ya muthia na ndani ya kamwa toto imbi. Ende uro kalinde samwe na kulinga toto tu ore kuja na ije polling station ningana cha mwaka huu ningana itigere what is the registered voters ke those polling station ko madhabu jao ante ba kulinga madhabu jao wherever they are.
Okay.
So that's why I was saying kile kutara the candidate au no the first winning ya mbaireya nondoka teka ura pona kirinya tuira batalire the candidate ondo kedra ibatikire DP na bi they are together. So ukateka Karis MCA for 3 terms. No kateka generally ura chinda those MCA ke kura MCA for the 3 terms imtu kuonekana area he was accepted, and that's why they found that mtu tuburi kumurongeka ari mtu wetu. So kutara the candidate wa muthendi I don't know ntai atarunga mageti maybe
he was vying for governor.
Yes, the last election.
Yeah.
So na yante ko it was not that atarimbuka that strong. Governor is a very big seat. With Rwanda we for MP. When as in the selection of the candidate matters a lot. Secondly, the selection now on to baraba geto campaign na your candidate. Na kile campaign ikuwa kuna several issues which must be put across. Na mono it is the candidate who puts across. And the funny thing on this Mbere, president being the party leader of UDA, atejo campaign na candidate we. Atomira deputy president. They don't is from the area.
So by the way, by election yata campaign.
But you see the funny part is being the party leader, at least na buri kwa pia even once nondwande ayekere the kindiki at a very awkward position. Nondwande wa teja so nande akabakeja shindwa akera kindiki definitely nande kwenda kutumira bwana nani atakorakalire. So nambuga nande the assurance that was there from Cecily Mbarire, from Ruku, from Kindiki, ma combine effort bakara president, you don't worry. Hii tuko nayo. If that's what they did, then they are in a problem. Non to bakwedro bakaja kuchindwa, then that will be a very big blow. Na kiri batwe turi Mount Kenya East. Definitely kitiki uraki geta kika determine a lot on where we are. Ndoka jokwa DP let's say. Economy ya antoba Mount Kenya ba kwambire kumakiri dirikali kana ba kwambire kumakiri kudikira dirikali kana idwere a protest vote kana anything else there are so many things which you can interpret from the results now, lakini daiji mbele results chikinya, then we may not be preemptive from kumakiri campaign ile leo kana kuma the activities that has been there.
Okay. Kirinya kuna wasiwasi ithirite leo today kura ikaiwa kwiba kubanga kuia kura sijui konenya mutongere wa kama DCP Kashegu akaandika kwa waziri awita nao athizera kura no tiwe na njirega yontu mbere chogia katu update wekiri utalipa kura.
Rwagori Primary School, polling station 1 of 1. Rwagori Primary School, number of votes cast in favor of each candidate. Ideri Lawrence Mwaneki 000. Boy Duncan Ideri 027. Morenge Isaac Ngere 000. Dwega Newton Karaoke 148. Gary Albert Moremi 000. Gary Daniel Ireri 000. Jero Reo wa Muthende 031, Jero Ruben Mureithi 000, Waiharo Simon Mwaura 000, and the total number of valid vote cast 206. Polling station count. Total number of registered voters in the polling station 278. Total number of rejected ballot papers 000. Total number of objected to ballot papers 000. Total number of disputed votes 000. Total number of valid vote cast 206. 206.
Mheshimiwa, those are the results that chikuya na itoka rikiri at a place kwa ndio kuria yani erera turi thai kuringana na ukura ciutangazwa ciatalwa mwanka cia Kenya kiri tallying center kwina uwezekano bakura guyo in between ya wide kiri kuringo.
Well, you know, anything is possible. KCS, you know, at some point, mwaka ya 20, I think it was 2016, US, idonania I think for the second time, mtoetawa Donald Trump. Auri kanarira betiteva can manipulate nini chia Democratic Party itawate email paeta orikana the then president accused Russians wa Putin no ate viena ni kuetate, and it's a serious democratic country like US kotuka. They are decrying of voter bribery, ballot stuffing and stuff like that. Then utemenya what would happen in a country like ours. Not the entire country, just neighborhood au bere. So it is very possible. Na proka rawarne ati kwa mfano in between kana buku ro agent bakarwani nini to yakwa stories funny rira kwa ari na MP bara beta ba mukango na wetu bange beta ba ndubai bakaloyo I think kaloyo no yembe na kwa muturia yakwa story very funny nini nye chitete boro nyethere chitalirwe kwa tu kabira biumbekia ku transmit na is quite different as long as a room is allowed to interfere. Room maker yako allowed to interfere. It can be interfered with. But endevi naka both sides ikurira. No yakuwa na ni goro ba Cecily goro ibarira bakiwa there are plans by akina muturi kuyakura kureta pre-marked ballots. No yakuwa ba muturi ba ke counter attack bakiwa kuna plan chambi. Actually less than an hour ago washawa post akiwa na urukoeta na askari ba take over the entire station kabe na plan cheko alter medha ibari take mark iko alter the results. So those allegations because we are calling them allegations, is there a possibility? According to me, yes, there could be a possibility as long as room maker yako allowed yaku interfere na especially now the transmission on twende the most critical bit of it na thina Kenya ni uitire otangazo na ABC no tha no certificate uonge bomba corona ko tinya yake ithatu ukiyagoro ino achindire na ende inyokero ukero yu tachindire kura i the right way. Sure. My friend umenye meake kuu imeliwa na nzige na umenye ende kisiasa haitarudishwa. Unaona choki kitone.
Ireri Lawrence Mwaneki 000, Boy Duncan Ireri 002, Murenge Isaac Gere 000. Dwega Newton Karaoke 012. Gary Albert Moremi 000. Gary Daniel Ireri 000. Jero Reo Amodende 005. Jero Ruben Murithi 000. Waiharo Simon Maura 000. And the total number of valid vote cast 019. Polling station counts. Total number of registered voters in the polling station 033. Total number of rejected ballot papers 000. Total number of objected to ballot papers 000. Total number of disputed votes 000. And the total number of valid votes cast 019. 019.
Alright, Mheshimiwa Kirinya no karigo kurikiria point ya mantu ya wamba bakura pomba kubuithika.
Yeah, it is very possible. Case yes, anything is possible. Especially now we are in the process of translation of result and all that. Okarea kumenyera karatasi karaga ya kwandikwa Kirinya onete kibau karutia onete 50 unge onete at the end of the day wamba no bokarekera in between them. But now what I find very unprofessional. Yakashagwa reo posted kiwa it is good to alert people, of course. Whether there is a potential kuna possibility ya kura ila tukuringite result ika altered non to fulani ya take over a station. But now where I find fault mbonere akiwa the young people between 18 years to 35 years iba ete baraba imbere na any other place baumikia access that polling station iba ite bate control. Again, that is calling for anarchy, honestly. That's why I'm saying all these other bodies here, I think these bodies che mandate na certain nini icho chia ya inya leaders veto liwe ya kwaria incitement yeyu ntoende nyumora itawe NCCK ile cohesion commission whatever meario yehu should be taken with the seriousness it deserves. Onto uninde mutongeria o Meru County nonto ili data vijana nteme vera babwe itugwitikia kwe mantu yo karika samwe atebui tuite ino tubethire nariko tubethire na una wende throughout the day. What we've witnessed is chaos and violence. So for me, I don't think roria rurua kuwa vijana baba 35 and below baite naraura polling station bete bakarwena because nara wetete watrimana na ntubange. So it becomes a bloodbath, it becomes chaotic and all that. There are ways of maintaining the credibility of the election without necessarily causing violence.
Kerotin kwera otwaria ndeka inke alafu tujuke break. Nteto itu kwariria mantu igi either voter bribery kana mantu igi kiauzira cionekere riri kana ingi tension ni kuona kantere tia kamnyambora reason CS rogo na gondo force ukuma kiretu kya kuringira kura so kura ni ringiro ni chiambiri otalo mbi waziri airite kituone otuko.
As I said earlier, Edward, mtu wethe na maybe responsibility wera kana irara kiri mantu ya elections.
To take a minute to results then to choke kiriwa karote.
Of each candidate. Ideri Lawrence Mwaneki 002. Boy Duncan Ideri 015. Murenge Isaac Ngere 001. Dwega Kakamega Newton Karaoke 142. Gary Albert Moremi 001. Gary Daniel Ireri 000. Okay, sorry. I said Gary Daniel Ireri 001 000. Jero Leo Wamudende 245. Jero Ruben Murithi 000. Waiharo Simon Mwaura 000. The total number of valid vote cast 406. Polling station count. Total number of registered voters in the polling station 623. Total number of rejected ballot papers 002. Total number of objected to ballot papers 000. Total number of disputed votes 000. Total number of valid votes cast 406.
Karuti.
So what I'm saying, Orambuire, it's very important that mtu akelewa area yawe na roach yawe rira during such a time. It will be very bad kaiteneka for any linda where you push. Either the polling station ire tromba kun deliver result na nako area ko manipulate kana ita force kinya is way ara the constituency tallying center. So bila utuma manto ya karika. It is because IMBC eteko bite as it is supposed to do. Last time na Kaspool ndo ereuka ya Aroko na
Boyd Were.
Were. What happened if I baringiro ya 1 million each? What if IMBC went ahead and disqualify either a candidate or will cause chaos na kuleta andwa? People have lost life. Today, you see, onto ya bora kare kireoro kwa ya mtu wa muthegela mutine bo muritete nguchi onthe mtore imukuru imuciari imukuru mtu ne anko mtu na ka parinde ndi no social media. It is unacceptable. Anto bara badithiti onto ya bora ibabatero face some laws na bakona manto ya badithiti te manto ya girite nkuyandre the super agent wa kiama bomba tura muto yora wonere kaluma tura muto na uro nengano na ina tag ya IMBC ai super agent wa undi empathy ikore akothia tira sheria bore batere. And until when we obey small rules, ilo tuatuika the first president erawe na kwenda tutuika
Singapore.
The Singapore ake na kwenda tutuika like the US and the rest of the nations that have grown to the third world to the first world. Bere tukinya na no mwanka these small issues tumbe kuyandora ibatere kwa android antu bathikire sheria no rombeti ndarombeti kuringa kure, and then you start moving in no other polling stations. Na bora ikanya ka campaign ka mieri 6 it is not in order. I cannot winda lose rate I can attribute manto ya atumire lose it is because Jubilee retere mbega chionde na kwatuika antu bari uriro line kuri antu baingitine kuri bai barabarene kuri bai ndene money imbeja sio trendi wetoringe uringe mbicha urete. That's what happens and that should not be the case. Kitha itu kwenda tuona barabara imbea, kitha itu kwenda kutuona CNDF iraspia CNDF, kitha itu kwenda kuona barabara ya uma titira gura ya kinyiri okona antu bareteri miringiti rio okona antu bareteri bya kurea bakaparindo antu bakaivu maskin tuwere kuringa kura na babate so for the next 5 years. People should learn na by elections bora ida conducted that we should not trade our vote in a better atethia o wethia o it should not be like that bana Edward.
Okay.
Now Ontario sober people by kero itene koge otuika iteka pika ora wana better.
Okay, this is Kenya for you. Yes, I'm going to take a break.
Hakwenda kuongea kile irregularities huko kugira Magarini it is in election yare nullified because of wamba wakura. So kuga kedra no body deke yeah it is very possible. Onto kedra dai kwena kitegi uchokro don't boa. It is very possible.
So we are coming to chokara ngera wa kede to chokeria. Is this a big test kira IBC? But before that, katu commercial break to choke.
Turi na kwethikira tukibumenyithia gikuo kia Verina Kanu mwana wa Etirikia Mbau na Lucy Kaleo Etirikia arari mwekuru wa David Karuma na mami wa Priscilla Kathambike Mathi Nkatha Kathure Martin na Glory arari Jojo wa Golda Prince Elvis Munene Tifan Mwendwa Gideon Prince Carlo Collins Karani Shailen na bangi babainge arari mwarongino wa Komu na Bea Kalotia Laisena Mutotigi Kabare Kiambata Kirema Mutotigi Kabua Mutotigi Nkoroi na Tho Mukunga Honorable Ntoribi Etirikia Mutotigi Mutuma Mutotigi Martha na Domenica arare anti wa Purity Thuranira Meru County Muriera CIC Munene USA Mwende Gathomi Ken Chuka University na bange babainge arare mother-in-law wa Dickson Kaume na sister-in-law wa Margaret Ntoribi achorena antobanjani baguchemani antuko chionthe nja Mugaruna Nchoro dispensary nyuma ya Ngondone police station mwire jukari to Kulbris Funeral Home na kiwongwana kemathiko ekathithika Juma tariki 28 thirini ya Kristo nogo kabwega nkorone chietu gatura Kenya na Kenya. Amen. Turi na kwethikira tukibumenyithia gikuo kia Mrs. Catherine na Itore Cosmas okuma Bwetene Village kia Nthombe sublocation Katheri East location Central Imenti Meru County kiragia karikire Jumamosi tariki 22 mweri Jojojo 11 imwana wa Mutotigi Joseph Ntoinoti Kaboro na Mutotigi Kirigo Inoti imwekuru wa Mutotigi Cosmas Morioki idota inlaw wa Mutotigi John Tokirera na Mutotigi Elizabeth Wanja ingina wa Martin Moria wa Githongo Vocational Center Edith Gacheri wa St. Anthony Tunyai Dispensary Morris Murethi wa USA na Cecilia Kajuju CCM Giantune School. Mother-in-law wa Sofia Karemi, George Mudhomi, Faith Makena wa USA na Charles Mureti. Imwarongino wa Mutotigi Gilbert Kaboro, Joshua Mweti, Mutotigi Cyrus Ntere, Paul Mbobwa, Mutotigi Geoffrey Baithega, Kasheri Mwirigi na Mutotigi Tabitha Nviera. Sister-in-law wa Tabitha Nviera, Mrs. Jane Monene, Mutotigi Kainda Mwirigi na Marisera Kiogora. Ijojo wa Mutotigi Brian, Chris Kome, Nina Lynn Kendi, Karo Makena, Nikita Kinya, Victor Mwenda, Nicole Kanana, Emmanuel Munene na Gitonga. Yanti na kazini wa baba ingi. Achorena mtubanjani baguchemani antuko chionthe nja kwawe Abwetene Village ni untuba maromba na kudhuranira mathiko. Mwere jukari to Kulbris Funeral Home kirachene Jumamosi tariki 29 mweri Jojojo 11 thaa ithatu na misa ya kigongwane kambiria nja kwawe thaa 4 na nyumene akanogo kwa unja Abwetene Village kia Nthombe sublocation Katheri East location Meru County. Jarene cha mwathani nogoka korone chietu gatura Kenya na Kenya. Amen.
Dhongo mesilinge kuna gypsum studs na channels kuma kwa Rhino mabati. Ithonde kina utaramu boke na ndibo robotic AI. Na nawigorere chio na mareja wholesale ja shiringi 120 yake. Turiongere factoreto ya Meru aja kithoka kana kitengela kana kirogoya. Turingere thimu kana utume WhatsApp kiri 0729 628 199. Rhino gypsum studs and channels. Bei nafuu, bidhaa za kudumu.
Kuma gatigatiga ntura tietu na ramajani jari magwa o kibura kiri na rogono rwakyo aja yetu sako itwetikitie gukinyaniria kiroto giaku na gukwa kanya gake gakagukiria urimi bwaku turi na loan champwe interest rate ite gukwinyiria na njira imbuthu cia kurea no ujukie loan ro igitarira aja ukarea na miaka na utikugitwa mbeca cia mweri no urombe bisi kana emergency na majani jaku no ukarea na mwaka bonus advance ugetaira bonus payout kana kinyawi gwatire chap itina garanta ya kugutethia guketha majani jaku yetu sako ni gukiria arimi gukiria iroto nonturia majani jaku jakuraga ruju rwaku no urukuraga ni untubwa nteto nkuruki turiongira rwangine rotururero ya kwinagwe kana uturingire thimu gukurukira 0724 114 444 kana 0111 038 000.
Huu ni unga wa extra premium.
Huyu wanitafuta sasa.
Umetuzaa wewe.
Unga gani hii wauzia mtoto? Hey, nilegeshe hela yangu. Wadanganya mtoto ukisha mimi. Ni original.
Original kitu gani? Mwangaria.
Hii si yenye upikwa inakauka. Na ndio maana nasema premium si premium kama si extra premium.
Kweli, extra premium inayokupa extra carbohydrates, extra vitamins na extra energy kuhakikisha kwamba wewe na familia yako mna afya bora. Na ni moja tu, Nice Extra Premium. Tena Nice Extra ngano yenye chapati nyororo na tamu.
Adaline Extra Premium.
Na pia Nice Pure Pishori kutoka Nice Rice Millers. Mwea.
Siri ni Nice. Nice na Nice Extra Premium.
Muremi ikuraurire neria ria uma ukamaka gucwa gicembe ni unto Green Life Crop Protection Africa Limited ikuretete gicembe gigwitwa Catapult. Catapult itumikaga na kithimi kia milita 200 kiri kithimi kia lita 20 cia ruji. Catapult itumikaga mbere oanda kana mbere irio biuma mbere ya kugira iria riaku irithro rina green. Catapult gicembe kia muremi.
Kiwanda cha Duralong Mabati tuko na bidhaa mbalimbali kama vile Duralong Versatile, Duralong Roman Tile, Duralong California Tile, Duralong Texas Tile, Duralong Home Tile na Duralong Box Profile. Vyote vinapatikana kwa rangi tofauti na kwa bei nafuu kabisa. Pia tuna vifaa vya kuunda pala nyumba yani roofing kama vile roll tops, ridges na misumari. Kwa maelezo zaidi piga simu kwa nambari 0710 120 590 au 0110 581 292. Fanya oda yako leo ufurahie ofa kubwa na ya kipekee ukinunua bidhaa zetu. Mabati ya Duralong ni imara na hudumu hata katika hali mbaya ya hewa. Tuna huduma ya usafirishaji wa haraka na wa kuaminika kote nchini. Masharti na vigezo kutumika. Duralong Mabati, your ultimate roofing partner.
Huyu ni Brayo. Hii Brayo anadai tu furaha. Akajiambia hatatulia hadi ipate. Akapiga maraundi hadi siku moja furaha ikapatikana. Tumefungulia Value Hickory C upate furaha. This festive season, dial *423# to reconnect and stay connected to GoTV Value for only 599 Kenya shillings.
Premium, nataka premium original.
Hata hii premium iko sawa.
Nataka premium original ya Kavagara. Mbona hata mimi anani confuse? Nilitaka premium original na ni ya Kavagara.
Shushu, sichukue ingine kama si ya Kavagara.
Aha, hivyo ndivyo kinaumana ukikosa original premium.
Nilitaka premium original na ni ya Kavagara. Kama huna premium original, nirudishie pesa yangu.
Wahubiria wajue premium original ni hii ya Kavagara na ngano ndio hii.
Raha Premium Kavagara, kwa raha ya familia.
The Meru National Polytechnic, a national center of excellence in technical and vocational education and training, proudly invites you to the 6th graduation ceremony under the theme, Celebrating Excellence in Skills to Transform Communities. Join us on 8th December 2025 from 9 a.m. as we honor our graduates, applaud innovation, and celebrate skills that are transforming communities and shaping the future. You can also watch the event live on our socials, YouTube at MNP TV and on Facebook at Meru National Polytechnic. The Meru National Polytechnic, technology for innovation and development.
Hamwezeni wait?
Bei ya leo premium, si complicated. Kupika leo premium, si complicated. Unabai, unapika, unashiba. Lea premium.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
Bueno, tuwetera mbere kuwatira na batu na kadri matukita break itukwenda kulelia IBC kithurano kiki nini kia the 24 areas ni tumite mock ya IBC na uramembi ya Kenya pa meorele towards kithurano kia mwaka 2027.
Yeah, nuntu bakwithirwa the commissioners. Otegeta IBC ukara for some time itina commissioners. So baba gotonya na ba sonin na ba kia sonin oro no mokaba lingidi this by elections. So it testiene ne mono kibo ku testi ora lakini commissioners nuntu bakwithirwa secretariat kana ba kawaida ntu bangu CEO anantu ba para no batwire ku nuntu ja CEO Marjan ako the election I think that one. So akona uzoefu anajua na hiji what to do. So rande commissioners ibo bale barale on test. And that's why kona commissioners bonde barale robisi no mtu na ronga merite a specific place. Kenda ona urao ulikikura bweja. So it was a big test to them and even to our security. Na coordination ya between the IBC and the police. How urapo coordinate. Na no kona there are some areas where they need to be tayari antu ba ku ndoa ngawot. Lakini wakataka kile polling stations so far tutaigwa anything so big alarming kuma kile polling stations. Ku mwaka kulingilia kura the whole day. Otena turaigwa nga machine chikolema apart from Turkana kwena wako kwerekana signal kana signal ya Safaricom ya Kimskit etiko wata I think 1 or 2 polling stations. Lakini naange tutaraigwa any technical problem in terms of Kimskit kwa identify mulingi kura kana onge tuiga wanga ballot paper angatochita naja chigweta to another different polling stations. On the ballot paper chita china zero number chi mark for a specific polling station. Tutaraigwa any those confusions. Kana tuigwa kwena intupitengani ja bya kulingiria kura. Maybe kimskiti umira tandeje kana ete kuitanguge kana backup anga ete kuitanguge tutere those things. So it is a very good gauge economy IBC how they can be prepared
what
for
they
the
look
main
to
election.
resulting
Jarange Primary School, polling station 1 of 1. Number of votes cast in favor of each candidate. Ideri Lawrence Mwaneki, 001. Boy Duncan Ideri, 019. Morenge Isaac Gere, 001. Dwega Newton Karaoke, 050. Gary Albert Moreni, 000. Gary Daniel Ireri, 000. Jero Rewa Mudende, 099. Jero Ruben Moridi, 000. Waiharo Simon Mwaura, 000. Total number of valid vote cast, 270. Polling station count. Total number of registered voters in the polling station, 550. Total number of rejected ballot papers, 002. Total number of objected to ballot papers, 000. Total number of disputed votes, 000. And the total number of valid vote cast, 270.
Tuendelee kadri. Okay.
Kura iko dhuka muno. So it shows IBC is like they can iba kwa prepared well kiri the main election. Gintu kingi kira kiri IBC ne in terms of voter management, how they are managing the voters. Inaonekana iba kuomba manage the voters as at now. Nonto ukateka utivoto rauma kiri kituo eni alalamika that akuwa managed vizuri anga idea wetera onekana details cha wetera onekana utuwetu raigwa so far kire baraponde Patrick kire bonde bareta kire petrol station ke polling station utem turuga details cha wete kuonekana kana akwekera kiara gite kuonekana ponde ukona wekera ibaraba kona inaonekana immediately. So IBC au bago chigeji bwega nangwitikia it's a win for them for now.
Okay. Yes. Kirinya, I do not know why IBC bando batra announce results tia utalipokura kwa Mbeere North, lakini inkuona verified page ya UDA by celebrate bakiwa their members won. What is not happening? Well, in fact, bandiki tanabai grambitsewe 1 minute ago.
Yeah. I think one of the things that happens ide bwana Edward borako okarawa process ya IBC no mwankaba dhome all those forms one by one oyo borachi ukinya non to no procedure, but I want to believe also ko yantubeda ira bena parallel tallying center chio yontu orikanarira kwari na NASA na Jubilee. NASA yari na parallel tallying center yo ya streamer resort chiayo kandu na IBC na kinyari turari bado manto ya Azimio na Kenya Kwanza bado Kenya Kwanza ibari na parallel tallying center na babangi bare parallel tallying center. What happens is kapu ira agent benu na arabari mukera agent benu kethira tu ne UDA ekalingana na bura kethira ntoba United Opposition ibo kari na coordination ya team yo i somewhere ekireceive the result from their agent nonto agent ara polling station nirari kura chetaliro from the polling station kuibangi na bobe na tallying center yo kando o agent atuma ki tallying center tuethera ni agent o UDA bonde by close of business mbua otha ithatu anusu ibo karibe utuma result chio nde kiri tallying center ya yo. Now maybe UDA ki tallying center yo they don't need process yo ya kuthoma ungota how many votes birabare na interest yabyo ni utali chia muntu woni anonere bamenye kethira no embere kana no number 2 kana no number 3. So they sure batalete kura chio cumulatively, though it is not verified by the IBC.
Yes.
Bakethira ibatalete all the polling stations. So it's a matter of wait and see. Kethira result chio from the Apparel Tallying Center chika coincide na chia IBC either by an error of margin kana chidire ni intact o ubo batalete. But most times ite taome ya nini kethira ibatalete boya.
Then I do the difference here is every other candidate know what to mire the number, the figure. The figure non tunitangazwa from the polling station. No to mire that figure to tally. Na boka menya mtu wenu kethira uende kuka UDA page yao ne kona ni tayari mtu wako kujukia. So you figures bajokeje. For IBC no mwanka formula that for equal physically.
Na esa inwe.
Esa inwe mbere ma from the polling station. Alafu equal physically kire tallying constituency, tallying center. Equal confirm kedha ne saini toboka kedha it is actually the right form. Kedha ni right form ya saini. Alafu nande returning officer dome. After adoma kire nande kire ingi. Nande iwi chonde chie tally nano mwanka until the last form. Verified it is true in all the security features. Nande iringo nande chie tally chonde nande iringo toto. Charingo toto bacho kebande nande form that 4B I think. Ireburu saino returning officer. Nande that 4B ya ande kwa returning officer saina na chief agents nande ba candidates. The moment they have accepted the results na ba saina. That's when now IBC ikadoma. Irina onde the official results. Na iwe doma already nya certificate ya andiki. Don't already wotiko tuetere takairi. So iwe the last iwe ki andikwa certificate ne andikirwe. So agetangaza who is the winner ki certificate ka. Mando zedire rao.
Karote katu yuki result yuki anda karote tu yakirewe.
Ireri 005. Morenge Isaac Gere 002. Ndwega Newton Karaoke 230. Gary Albert Moremi 002. Gary Daniel Ireri 000. Jero Reo Wamodende 083. Jero Ruben Murithi 000. Waiharo Simon Maura 000. Total number of valid vote cast 322. Polling station count. Total number of registered voters in the polling station 508. Total number of rejected ballot papers 001. Total number of objection to ballot papers 000. Total number of disputed votes 000. Total number of valid vote cast 322.
Karote au ne to kari ki mantu yautu for example IBC ne terete kwa announce kura and then babu buriki ama official bo announce na wire mtu wenu congratulations ke ombokera ya way of intimidate maybe baba utalithia kura in case yet opposite nrabo andikite
how can it go opposite when uromba kura winda romba kura
yes
itwari na wa parallel tallying center when ore ayeku winda ari ayekwa agent vetu barabara itwene baithirio tala akwira atukwa kura mana yeli uronge agura tukwata mana thatu tukuringanira cietu ciothe na kinya cia bau bangi tukuringanira no kuona na mberori IBC itangaza yombo tangaza the following day thaa ithatu cia rugiri ga thaa ithatu cia oro kana themo kuringana na distance ira ituo kia kugiri na nara constituency tallying center so already mbere kinya ya resort kinya kwa IBC ara already antibogari barota la kura na bamenya batu kituo ketu ina iyi kituo ketu ina iyi kituo by 9 kwiba kwari be kumenya everything because tana teka kunene yura so if at all kwiba nyirie kwandika bara the senior most people in the UNDA party banjirie kwandika antu bo bara bonete ite that is the truth though kinya babange na bono banjirie kwandika o bakiwa wetu akuoya but at the end of the day mbere nye kura itangazo rindi nibwethera bokemenya where you stand and where you had so bunkuona batie na kura manayana na bunkuona bange that is the case awiko manto ya thirire tiketere na igethera thirikari ke
kotangazire ko ya IBC
are agwa geke ambere kuringana na bibi andiki ikethera je no gona twende twirianga itoko refresh
parallel guarantee
itoko refresh tona so kiu tendrige agwirita ibu agwirita kathangu thio
no those are not very fine results
katwetere but ou akua novu ketha kwandika fire ni fire set to fire
so iroka turima kuria atiri ukarutari ou akwandika fire nambi aba bangine babake bakambire bakandika kinya batu muntu atunethete atia nacindite so what atu bate kuthira kuna discipline bwetere mwanka IBC
anathorima aua mea babare andika fire bangi bakandika congratulations
yes
nabo banjeri maina wa women rep ogirinyaga no andika it is well ayekira broken heart so na maitho na tuwe mujito kurira that means bongo ibo talana ibakona baitatea bakuringwa na gachagwa na njire kurira no mutandawe na kwandika kibora ko kara ora the military power ga what and what that tells you or indicator
so if you want to kuria treka should you have some discipline at least boeter yes mo dire bokemenya results yen but boekira bo publish boeter mwanka itangazo
social media the power of social media utomba kwa restrict na ngoka dile ja Tanzania kana Uganda ndo Museveni ngwitikia January akaenda
aya picha wenyewe
atakuwa mzima social media Uganda na njoka yenyewe Tanzania it was like that Twitter Facebook kila you shut down internet and that's it so no kadhi ugeta that direction lakini social media je tueneo Facebook and the like utumba ko me prevent anto ko post what they want to post no te crime kinyada aika UDA to te crime ra didia ke talire figures chia na ya mo it is like that na tangaza so ekedra iti ni orongo kana ima mtoro social media nazo kire figeu na era wano akora nyaba ato ito kuona maybe it is like that na khaire when you look at the power now of the government enyekete kuga you know it is the UDA is a government party so omudende arale project nearly a government nanande otegete machinery onde Museveni augire he doesn't understand how you can go kupanga an election and then ukachindwa election you ila uhuru bashindi 2017
kama kubanka gani ngwe ya IBC
may this is you are the government you go finance IBC You go to recruit commissioners, you go to the judge, and then watching the same election. He doesn't understand. Now kataka icho bara Naruto nale na president wetu na Devki. Arau we ba beta itutigwe mboni Naruto mboka 20 years. So it means there is a way of managing election in the power, and it is clear that it is possible. Trump and the like. The power that be can control an election, it can. And that atoka kedrwa deputy president kana UDA kwa mwaba kuchinda kete, then that is the way. Taka wakubahatisha. Ni kitu ambayo machinery system yonde ni kuovera polling station bako diria kura mena netu na power yenye dimo a mobile phone. You can take photo of that from that 4 and you send. Na ndio kedro taka kubahatisha kairi te uwe alisema 200 wao alisema 250 ale form te
ne kuonekana.
So you just download it, ubunde boka kedro bwana chonde, and then you do the tallying and you have the figure. So in this era, you can even do it before. Look at Botswana. Botswana, before IBC yao imenya who is the winner, Gen Z ni aleko menya no chindere na bambilio sherekea. And you know the power of knowing the winner early, believe the winner is you prevent any nyari kinyokenda kwenda omba pokale popa hangwe. Hiyo haiwezekani tena.
IBC bakuwa na mbele not.
In favor of each candidate. Ideri Prudence Mwaneki 000. Boy Duncan Ireri 014. Murenge Isaac Ngere 001. Dwega Newton Karaoke 326. Gary Albert Moreni 000. Gande Daniel Ireri 000. Jero Reo Wamodende 104. Jero Ruben Morivi 000. Waiharo Simon Mwaora 000. Total number of valid vote cast 445. Polling station count. Total number of registered voters in the polling station 686. Total number of rejected ballot papers 000. Total number of objection to ballot papers 000. Total number of disputed votes 000. Total number of valid vote cast 445.
Kadrima ko kariuru tiela kana no kariuru ke point ya kutu ekiri mashima krinya
Ndio results bila urachi go streamline.
Yeah.
Urachi utonya na ndito kuona na results chiterete. And likely okay kintu kingi buka tokera Anthony the moment results hichi tangazo uro chindi ya ina 28 days to file petition, and then now from 28 days na they would know bomba quality even for 1 or 2 years kana 3 years 100 na ina ande tuna only 1 year next year to election. So uro ga chindo dai nya geta kotini likely tamu ikadira mbere nya igamba lili ya concluded kana the next election ya kinya mbere nya igamba ya concluded.
Okay.
So if you didn't manage your system well, kana campaign yeku kedo time manage repo ka, then you'll just cry.
So Mheshimiwa Kirinya, now let's take it literally. To UDA bawi batsindete itibi bawi batsindete according to them. Either in reality batsindete itibi onto ya nara kwina what do we call the governor Transia natembea. Utuike nara malava batsindete uba bawi batsindete and then batsindete kikingi kia mbere. Those two constituencies bedra para utsinda. Statement irego statement irego bedra bare utuma Kirinya bara bedrite bayo posti dirikari.
Ovoram tukiambiriria Edward na urerie kiurengi na buni buranka wane ati.
So now take it the way it is uba kwa batsindete.
So irongo kwira atiri kwa mtu wa Machiavelli. Machiavelli aturitana ki ukurenge andikete rita the prince that perception matters more than the reality. Na nabura mantu yare perception nira UDA kwenda create ni atiri wewe babu bureta bukiwa one time na bukenda kuona ni how unpopular the Kenya Kwanza administration is uketa na ground ine mantu tofauti. Na for example ndi kethire ya nani nara natembea burare enda kuona ni nathirite government in Western region nathirite mtu witwa Musalia Mudavadi nathirite Kinya Wetangula and the rest by a big margin kuona ni ate barenda ku it sends a signal that Antobado, there are huge section of the population you support him. It may not be 80% like it used to be previously, but at least no either almost to a tune of 50-50. So nekwenda kuona ni that it is not as unpopular as Bura Gachagua bakwenda kuona ni aba Natembea, Bakalonzo and the rest of the the united opposition. Number two, ke area zira baombete gutsinda kura ibaombete ku stamp authority na kuona ni possibly strength ya vinara ba united opposition tu ethere ya nara ukambani ukethe kibia bachindite kethere ya nara ura area chia coastal region kethere ni western region kethere ni area yonto ya Kisii nara ura what they are sending na message ira bakona ni atiri ni utuire nya strength ya that opposition leader in that region strength yo kariatea baka we kuthima na kathari na thirikari ri buthima na bwana atea. So for me ikethire na ramifications nyingi muno going towards 2027 no Mpumi kwa baba echoka ke mwananchi bachoka batina bakunjete mitiro kuibona boende ni kethira confirm na nieta obone kanwa chindete through the IBC muntu awito yonto kindike kithurende akeya embu akiruma sana aomba kwithira inya church service ira akathithia mbere akathithia ukanyombora nontu kanyombora intura yao inture Muturi na muntu awitwa Leni Kivuti. So no ethire with the normal pomposity na kwenda kuona ni I am the king aomba wita inya kanisa ene kanyombora actually aba Muturi kwenda bonia mimi ndio kusema. So the win itokea mbere te tukare tukomenya result lakini mbuire wombo tumira this to project what will happen in the future. Kankuire sometimes back experience yende ni ono ntwende batu nyambunga itoringa kura na toringira kura cha kuthura speaker toringa kura cha kuthura machea ba committee ma vice chairs ba committee toringa kura cha kuthura deputy speaker most importantly toringa kura chia gindoke wetwa impeachment remove ya ile ya that 5 times pokarawa bona Edward muringi kura no yoronge arothera professor arothera mamora na araura muringi kura mentality into vile vitabura is almost the same. Okay? So where money is involved, number one, you can't trust a voter. Whether that voter is educated or not. You know, so far experience, ile niona muringi ku na muringi kura. Kulinga na kura ira na ara kurendeka kura nitete niringwe. Sometimes weta okethira arake ntuko wetwa reasoning ni wa apply. May imagine 5 to 10% ake. Na ara mbecha ichiri involved may 80%. Na ara emotions ende na mbecha iko involved, it takes everything. So muringi kura wa mwekera factor mbecha. Wa mwekera issue ya emotions ende baraba kuyita na logic. Nonto nyoka ya kwa ili honestly kinya campaign icho mbeta kwethira ikiendelea cha by elections. Tell me which region para announce kintu kewe to policies, para announce the grand plan they have for that constituency, whether from those who are supported by the government or those who are supported by the opposition. Antubau ngakwira pick a clip from any of those people eki articulate kintu kewe to policies. Ira mtu uretete kwa advance ura kuringiro campaign nambi you can barely point even 10% of content ira barita in every rally ira barita that tells you bwana Edward we have muringi kura yondungu kwera no yorongi tu. So all those issues have been there na thirikari knows that nikomenya maybe when they pour a lot of money baka subvert the nini so kintu kewe to kekative to kewe to free because I don't think voters have ever been free to do there to free election ibati kwethira iri devoid of kinyanto kuthanu mbecha kenda wetate kenda baringa kura to muringi kura tu kawaida ya kuthanu ngiri imwe mtu I akuan below $1 a day akathanu ngiri imwe honestly chances are you have altered the thinking of that person na oku alter kinya bura akiringa kura chiawe. So there are a lot that needs to be done, but for me I think the lessons we need to pick from these by elections is that baraba ikoro opposition na bako enda kurita thirikari ko needs to understand they need to work harder than they thought they should work. Number 2 bambe bamenye money will be a big factor na bakorongo we into to civic education. My brother, we've done these things. Ito irete anto no TV bateri ba ike to memene ba iko TV na yonto ito ibera paga iko all over. But the reality people needs to wake up na baraba ike politics is that 80% of our politics will be controlled by finances.
Finances to do what?
Economia nini? Economia wa mwananchi.
Kindoringa kura. That is now where we go wrong.
I know we go wrong, but nendere menya do we bury our hands and say finances itende kagesi siasa bona Edward. Tuchive tuwe mbeche itende kawa wananchi wetu bakelewa ibenderwe sera. That's why I have asked you itakuma nara kwa chindano iba panyako na wadakwa in Malava constituency. Uye wite Magarini constituency. Uchoke nao keba wa Muthede na Newton Karish. Wite pin nonto oi mto media mpikira barate kilita imbibete te kuvivia in the parliament. Some of them okay obauri kinya roles che legislators possibly aba very orientation. Pero the roles of a legislator is 1 2 3 4 5. Ini ongo yete wetate kurita. Iwinge irare pure emotions and dishing out money here and there. Wow. Trust you me, Bwana Edward, that's the fact. Na ngatokeenda kubare our hands to pretend that money is not a factor. It is a factor. Sorry, no, okay, kwa ile kinya most of the
results.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Name of polling station: Kageri Primary School. Kageri Primary School polling station 1 of 2. 1 of 2. Number of votes cast in favor of each candidate: Ireri Lawrence Mwaniki 001, Boy Duncan Ireri 009, Morenge Isaac Ngere 001, Dwega Newton Karaoke 122, Gary Albert Muremi 000. Gary Daniel Ireri 000. Jero Reo Wamudende 149. Jero Ruben Moriti 000. Waiharo Simon Maura 000. And the total number of valid vote cast 282. Polling station counts. Total number of registered voters in the polling station 446. Total number of rejected ballot papers 004. Total number of objecting to ballot papers 000. Total number of disputed votes 000. And the total number of valid vote cast 282.
So kirinye gwenda ore statement yeku and then tuyuke break tuchoke na karute and then maybe together tukirikiri mabango. So rikiri point yeku kenda tuyuke break.
Yeah, thank you bana ndo dabura nkoira ke baraba tutikirite na ba coach live nati with the experience unengo koira with the experience nonto the few times we've done even votes at the county assembly ngukuira mostly some of these issues are not based on really issues. Number two, they are not even based on principle. Number three, there is always a money factor. You know, na money factor ereke ya kuya I think no ikirwe up to including to a level of senate ikirawa kinyaka mite chiongo ikiringira something kura money ni taate must nini so kotueka at the level of the senate becha ichi utumeka no ntubori yeto kuringa kura no mtu ndina au muringi kura ro kawaida in general elections kana by elections yei okudwania money will not be a factor arako there kuna sympathy is a very small margin na nyoka yotala members of parliament barabara ingeri based on sympathy they count to between again like I've said 5 to 10% of them ontoke yotala yorira kwa na one factor ya Meru ya Buri one factor ya Igembe South one factor ya mto ya Peter Salasia you know so okay yotala out of the 290 constituency then that tells you obongo kwera in between 5 to 10%. The rest of it emotions money so money will be a big factor kinyato ichinga
yeah.
Money will be a big factor na the opposition no mwangaba icho mie bwana Edward bachoe kanyamu poya no nto baba edirikarine batambia kanyamu
okay.
That's a fact.
Statement very strong ngona tuyuke break tuchogera karuti react on that because nyamtu kwelewa beza no ringi pogura inabikumania but tuichoka uke react on that but first katuke commercial break tuchoke.
Nende kama nani?
Yes, ndio wenyewe ndio bada.
Karibu kiti.
Hotela nini?
Yes sir.
Ukumenyiria ate go wetirwa ngale ona ndese.
Mbie mwende.
Bado mwenye wewe tuchokeze. Bonde. Chivo. Ndio buru mwinkima ya Lea Premium na chapati na muruiko meruka chiongwa cha mutujwa Lea with flour. Ini tare ya.
menyera na kuria nja yaku na njirere agirite buru na mutujwa nkima jolea premium fortified sifted maize meal na juankano jolea premium all purpose fortified wheat flour na joronekana na magurija mega buru
na ni tamu
toka kabura na
New Palea Millers, nurturing the world.
We are turning up the heat on Star Times. Unravel the thriller mystery of the evil eye returns on Star Life. Fall for the irresistible charm of What's Wrong with Secretary Kim on Novella E+. Get absorbed in the emotional twist of My Wonderful Life on Novella E. Step into the all-new season of Hello Mr. Right, Kenya's most exciting dating reality show on Rembo Plus. Renew your subscription today, starting from just 329 Kenya shillings for Nyota Bouquet on the aerial decoder or 549 Kenya shillings for Nova Bouquet on the dish decoder. Download the StarTimes app to stay connected anytime, anywhere. StarTimes. Enjoy digital life.
Huu ni unga wa extra premium.
Huyu wanitafuta sasa.
Umetuzaa wewe.
Unga gani hii wauzia mtoto? Nilegeshe hela yangu. Wadanganya mtoto kisha mimi.
Ni original.
Original kitu gani? Mwangaria.
Hii si ni yenye upikwa inakauka. Na ndio maana nasema premium si premium kama si extra premium.
Kweli, extra premium inayokupa extra carbohydrates, extra vitamins na extra energy kuhakikisha kwamba wewe na familia yako mna afya bora. Na ni moja tu, Nice Extra Premium. Tena Nice Extra ngano yenye chapati nyororo na tamu.
Adaline Extra Premium. Na pia Nice Pure Pishori kutoka Nice Rice Millers. Mwea.
Siri ni Nice. Nice na Nice Extra Premium.
Huyu ni Brayo. Hii Brayo anadai tu furaha. Akajiambia hatatulia hadi ipate. Akapiga maraundi hadi siku moja furaha ikapatikana. Tumefungulia value Hickory C upate furaha. This festive season, dial *423# to reconnect and stay connected to GoTV value for only 599 Kenya shillings.
Yukuria njwana emogi chunche kiambere kamusari kamugwanje ririuga atiri indi tukethro tuitega turi werune utaure wea karaga werune riu twethro turi na ngwataniro gatigatine gitu na kuthingatire ruteto ruru atangazaji ba Weru FM na Weru TV gwatanirite na kampuni ya New Palea Millers bare nibo bathondekaga mutujwa mpempe na juankano Jolea Premium. Jamo na MCK na Alisaket iretongerete ni Superintendent Minister Reverend Daniel Mwiti na leba gukugwa togeni kire kiumege saketi ya kuinga mwaka kanisa ni MCK Muchogomoni ni ntuku ya kiumyeje ntariki 30 mwezi jojo November wambirire thenya cia rukire ukethero kuri na Women Fellowship Reception kana kwambiro kwa ekuru irie karungamirwa ni Reverend Doreen Murithi urenwe Connection of Women Fellowship Coordinator Kigongwa na kiki kethro kiri mwako imwe kiri Weru TV rumuriro wa miro uma mundune ija werune
Mukario Meru isiro tharakanidi muga kairi musafara jwa kampuni ya Green Life Crop Protection Africa Limited igwatete na Weru FM na Weru TV no jujete na mbere ukuriungira monka ugwa kunturene kimegeke aramisi tariki 47 uliongete kaunti ya tharakanidi na tukambiria mukothima gatunga na turekirie marimanti juma ya tariki 24 nyanya turi agara kaunti ya Isiolo na tukambiria Kirwa Ntuge Soboiga maili 7 na tukunjira Ntuko Isiolo Jamoja tariki 29 tucoke Meru na tukambiria Nchero twite Kianjae Mekindori Kigochwa Kimongoro na tukunjira Ntuko Maua na enjo apire tariki 30 tukuriongirita mukariokeria twina magutuni pole pole na turikirie chogoria na yo Jumatatu tariki 1 mwezi wa Disemba musafara wetu yukambiria Ndagani twina Mekanwa Kathwana Nkareni na Tunyai huko kunde turiuga ukulima ni green life shumerie wigwatire mataro yoremi na wishinde ye wankabo dojo tujwa gukurukira ukende gukurukirwa Green Life Crop Protection Africa Limited, your growth, our growth.
Ninaomba kwa jina la Yesu. Raundi kuanzia sasa. Hautakuwa kama bila tena. Hautakuwa yule wa kawaida. Utaleta injili. Utaleta faida kwa injili. Tunakubariki Mwenyezi Mungu, tunakuita mwamba uzima na utele, pokea utukufu mama na bagani. Ni sisi sasa. Yesu anaambia hata nikichelewa kuja kwenu, hii barua ambayo ni Biblia iendelee kuwatia moyo. Hata nikichelewa kurudi, hii Bible iendelee kuwa ni courage. Ujai Bwana umea achomete fire.
Bwana tuweta na mbere kuatana na batu ya kilimo bango ya siasa tuita na mbere koleli na kuona ura Mpumi che Ithurano bionde bietite na mbere na karutingu kuite kiwe mushimu Kirinya kuwe mantwari ile muno igie mbetsa. Why should money be a factor kiro ringi bokura iliali after kurea mbetsa hii ni aringi kura ringi bachoka kura bakiwa au ito akwere kura chietu no rero no wotu ngo turitira so antu babati utumira mbesa kuringa kura kana babati kuthima mturo babati baritira ngwe.
I wish ya ndairiririe tukinya au ndairiririe tukinya au akwithirwa money is not a factor kiri uringi bakura which is maybe it's a dream tumba kweye tukari tukona kithano bombeke but as we are talking even today na ruwe tukwaria mbira whether Kirinya no mea aeta mbeu akethira akuru tirine kana thaka njirene abakethia achoka rom itangirisi awe 10 na achoka ngirisi awe 10 tumene barabara ene wetete u from here ume mutindro uwe endurant nateka kurombete nateka kuikia rombera orona no rombere no na kirare idare akwana lakini I am telling you the truth no ndondo bagona bawita mheshimiwa kuma mutindro mwanko kinyege Mbeist station iro karoma otero modari uwe roma nyogera mheshimiwa watutia au nawe. Same case to all the MCAs and the MPs.
Nore hawa mheshimiwa Ompara.
Mheshimiwa Mporo abori ajira ile kudurira kioni kierie ake aike the yanto na mete umwankaki. Same case etaninya nangabana barabara ni bwetaneti. Bwetete ketete ko launch mudhira ketete ko launch maendeleo lakini kwethero te kubangita ground ore anjire kuruma mutandao ene ruorira thimu ekunga utumira clip chianto bakiwa ngamtu no minjara ngamtu ngai mukono mbirika nge na polio what else do we need ibarabara tukwenda kama mtu ayete ku launch maendeleo na kuriro banga kiani kithote banga kiani ugethera nteto cia ngara tene. That is the Kenya that we have.
Wow.
So unless we pray hard na uma I was happy with Gen Z rira banda mana wetha ero kiuna nyumbe mtu kana okyo yake ntuga uro mpuro ndendro bona mtu aita chimbia cha kampeni wa moro wa mboro we ya ukiwa tupe kitu kindogo kwa thwa kuri anto bego kuringa iboko popo ya. I wish we can grow to that level, but we are far from that because inyakono kirindri kiu bureta wa dhiri mchamano panga line anto panga line. Nowadays you go for a meeting, you finish the meeting anto bego terete bego tute weta korethia yani ne tuita korethia tuengwechi yetu ya kurita to bange eunio ijo siasa cie Kenya, ijo siasa cie Meru yetu. Money is a factor in the campaign na kile siasa cia Naru yetu kwaria.
Okay. In fact, mongele mbere rutere ira. One time in the year 2022, actually 21, thoko Kenya governor Kiraitu na mekirite kabro wena ntochu deputy governor. So one of the evening itokarinde tokebanga Kiraitu ya kurura thoko era. So ndobara babanga nambi bareta issue kwirwa ntochu na bati kubanga
kiani
abauria arwa mauri ende luya ntubeturi thoko iwaria ntakene twabwakira kabro boya tobwekira matana mbi na neo ende tuyite kuthana ni officially kende kuruba choka ba kumathogone wita atia ende ro mtu mwamuriria muria au ni nante mwekuru teanko ende thoko no nambire ituka orondere yo kuthikira ituka bro to ilinkarita nkaruire ana ndi kuona for me ne ndurire metho kuraya sana ndaya kuona atiri sometimes mwananchi no mubudharia maendeleo no murieke ndayona no katukwarie the reality of our politics. There is what we want as a progressive community and there is the reality of Endwend. Kida mtu nakuria itoka burotoro ende karita ito wigirite ito nkarita ati kuona the ripple effect ya boko kuthire nambi ina kaburo kana barabara kuthire thire tulami bidawa yako enda kuona ne atire isaza onkoya ngukuthikira wa articulate all those issues no turo tukira kaburo tukira bi at the end of the day undana re no timpe mbendairie ku kana ivongo kana mpoka unimbetite what do I stand to benefit. So as a point bwanendu adu ukadhiri antu maendeleo no bare yoyona. That's the reality of our politics.
Wow. So
kurubo wapeza kuendelea
yeah
kenda bakuthikira lazima obaire kabro iba kwendia mpoka chao no kaba nekira kantu.
So aringi kura iba bakiriti thinde tithera chiko kirutongerie ni because now okay agodera what ndingira kura no ndote na pesa. Why should you demand barabara mbia kumwakiu?
What happened is this. The politics chetu na mono chi Africa chia resource managed mono non to boko idroa. How else do we compete? Kedra ikuga njira nyako gono go kadi njira wonu bu kadi njira go kadi njira. So competition yetu kedro erina. So nande as a result of kwedro resources ni kuendekana ikitu mikuona na wetake parliament na ku mishara nene rumono such that mtu tarama da bujaga kama yanda MP mbese ingutumira ngacho kitu apart from mishara nkane kero contract nkadi diambi nkadi networking yuchonde na ngacho kiambese chako na by the fact that anti bachoka yambese chao no bakendera kutumira mbese kenda ba penda kwa MP aya atutege technically now when you look at it technically logistics kintu kera getawa logistics imagari tara botumira irubiria nto barapa ukampirina bakare naraba geta kumama manto jojonde ire timbereka uliroga atumira ekatumira mbesha so na timbesha kidogo Hiyo ndio technical part. Buka print ma t-shirts, buka flyers, hiyo ndio buka didi.
Yeah.
Nane hiyo logistics, nane kwenda mbele cha kungana. Ya izire neo tuomba kumeta vota bribery na njire mwe.
Yeah.
Ende njirenge ne ukirinya baguha ya kwithirwa nande oni ndi kweja kuthikira. Na ukombeta nande kuthikira. So after kuthikira re, now what is there for me? Tai. Not on the voting. Voting nande kuga nonto da kuthikira kuga oro kadi twithire njira na mbina to kuthikira jo na to kuwirwa yes. But now dai ndi kyanjai ndi kuthikira. Imbwiri kwa na
boda
nkana a distance. Nande when I listen to you nanda kulingira kura uno ugeta kuona mshara ni wewe. Mshara zora izwa kuna mwekuroku. So dai you have to facilitate me. Kena mpanda. Sindio? Na ija kureo nondurande ukajerarwa kirenya dai akaumaga aka Twitter Dristias. Kana wherever. Akadogani yani definitely oni yan teta na wallet.
Ugara no YouTube
Kirenya kwa tuche manya Dristias. Nande igweta njwetero oje na turungi na tamburo kete ke ubwe kana ndumbije au nkale ankanyo na nkane nkero ngarama. Ero nto pakodra oni ogo enda ngotonje nalo kona mbeche ini. So itole dai nonto ogo wa MP likely sitazipata tena.
Wow. No, surprisingly, Duncan Bui, ura more candidates, ba Mbeere North, how considered fit. Awetekiri Ochindwa, Arua, congratulations, Honorable Leo Wambudende, for your election to serve the great people of Mbeere North. To my supporters and Wera Wari movements, we live to fight another day.
Definitely. And let me tell you, by the way,
yes,
there is one structural blunder that the United Opposition did. Now, okay, akona mtuumbu anokare akura ungiri yele.
Yeah, na 2000.
2,500.
340 something.
So, one kiuni ndithwani atire DCP already ne arere umoya. Pa munankera inya na iba mu hoka as their candidate. One mistake I think they did was to allow muntu bare mu manage completely. Bare mu manage Duncan actually was an MCA. Yeah, Duncan was an MCA, Karish was an MCA. So still menya kuna other nini kukethe hakuna by election ningi January no February. Kukethe hakuna by election ningi. Yes, wao nini wao Mbeere ringi. Kukethe hakuna another GMCs. Okay? So kukethe hakuna another showdown ya Itevi MCA. One of the mistakes I think the United Opposition did, especially from the DCP, by kutuika bati kira mtu to the very end. Iba bati ni ukarandino before aita resign aromba iti pa mu manage. Ba mura wende mtu wetu ashinda, let us negotiate imbio kethira we na byo kethirikari iriku while you remain as an MCA no mu support. Number one, you not lost your position as an MCA. Number two, ito kuitira part of win yao mtu. So please kato kuromba nonto as a United Opposition ito kwenda iteke wo etate. So the moment they allowed him no arenyangirie thaburi ya United Opposition in Mbeere because okaya 2000 votes yo karacho ike ya gutiwa just to scatter around. You never know, maybe Kari should have won. Nonto imagine iran kona batiene neo ne around 400 votes. Mutano ena 2,400. So okay, kadri iba ombre ko manage this guy. Na this guy surprisingly no arumete ward ya Evrore irena kura inyingi.
True.
Okay? Odan Kanboy no arumete kunini. So ake ya kulin on either of the side then ake virena uitiri uru sana nonto difference yantu ikura maana yanake. So I think the United Opposition also made a blunder not to manage this Duncan boy. So because politics is also a funny game. No kwithire nyawe achoia ikandi batala dirikare etala ithaburu yo na ithaburu eturi tiukuma na boya baita beba ile no mwanka tuchwe muntu urageta ate no kwithire muntu inyawe nacho ithirikari na hii project ya thirikari gwita ate kurwama kenda enyangie thaburia the opposition. You never know.
Moses Kuria is not, we are not trusting.
Yeah, Moses Kuria kuirwa mona aikara anywhere na the united opposition, then you must be worried.
So Karote, in this scenario, who is to blame? Gachagua kai Muturi, because Gachagua na yukiti Mbuyo konsindi usindwa are candidate on DCP. Then after behind curtains talks nyingi muno pe hapa wapatwe toko withdraw. Wewe no aibu asira atwake ya makingi. So who is to blame here?
You know, bibi omba kore opposition. Uko tueka 2027. Mia pundit watangiri. Already the UNDA party neko mia who is their presidential candidate. That one they know. And the president himself is working towards to consolidate and to buy tamu. The united opposition yau biba kuria baretie barira na tukia kwathukana tukaringwa lakini twaria tu yamwe tukombana riba tikwa twiria tu yamwe who is our team leader yaura ila kwatweka awera no take bullet aitaiwe tuchemanire ndrevene na ndrea kurewa kwina Matiang'i kwina Kalonzo skiza ground we ngwari no kwenda na nde timu mbere ite yamba iba kuthirwe so kinya kumanage kinya kurea kuatanira ba mwa mapema manto yakonie mbere north. It is one of the factor ire baringite nika ngwire kusambura thirikari kwitha wena nganya mno ina muteremko kinya kuona kuruchio no tibingi ni au akwenga muntu arikwo because kwa one time ko eta Kasongo wengana nwabo ikutumete kura ikoneka wimbinge muno. So these people korea kwitha very determined na bamenya where we going no now to kwenda. As Mheshimiwa said, antu baba kia kuombana bakarania na this man kura ngiri iketho ikethatine kyo ciari thai omuthenda gagithai muciagirira. But since the united opposition, they are calling themselves united opposition, lakini bandu bata unite because they are fighting each other. Gachagua atenda kuona Matiang'i metho kwa metho.
But there is a fact.
Ati he hates him. Ati kwendro muibwa. Ara monera wono yeta kutangalania united opposition you areti no uru. Ai nandro noe. Wayanjire ingi Kalonzo embere ara noe lakini ati determined ati komia pando ati kominjere weregerete asia areta akawakete Gachagua nowe na mauri. Agachagua miate meo kiromba thai. Ende Kalonzo na Gachagua na Matiang'i bonde by the nene we. Batiomba na
Gachagua na Matiang'i by na beef.
Ayujuan by the way.
Ile mweka irandene. Meye ewu kathokana no lerwe because hiyo mateso ilikuwa kali sana. So beef hiyo na nande okay when you look at the united opposition here with the united opposition. Wategera Embu na ndio election hii raleo kulikuwa na Leni Kivuti na Justin Muturi na Gachagua ambaki hemo. So kuko na kwena antu badatu but different parties
na mogoji.
Gachagua aina DCP yewe, Muturi aina DP yewe, Leni aina bas. Na ndio lakini bonde pale they are supporting this one candidate.
No. Yeah. Na kuongela Rutere, let me tell you now a bit of a little history ya Antuva. What happened interestingly Berero Koyo muntu oitwa Leni Kivuti and been promised this position.
Sure.
Yes. Those are stories we've heard from the horse's mouth. Muntu oitwa Leni eta vivie kinyake ndoke oitwa homecoming plan na planning ya homecoming nera Antuva ba kiama achore ba mbere na binambi ba tu bendera
kinyamunya nari
yes abera bendera nitite ate
niyete
imbinametie so babuete niete so what has happened in Mbeere North, na it is so sad that Karisha has been caught up in all those non tukaro yandwa itichiawe kwatukire bwana Rutere antoba ibitanes one emuturi kwengwa itinegesi yes number 2 Eleni Kivuti utirito mweye nondo wa promeswa ugero nitakupea no kaithuraniro kathamba na Binini ukienda unanyi nende noe na sire ko
same case to Munya
na sire ko na sire okay so bawata nanto baile kashagwa no endre ya ongela sira ya unini ndare DP na umbinga. So what has been happening in Mbeere North by election is that there is one team of people who are bitter with the government. Okay? So theirs was to prove to the government that isa sawa ibo atuingire na uni nani ulini promise utanipea na umeninyima. So kacha you on them my friend kodu kende atuba number 1 bibi baretete amoi bitterness te agenda. All right? Nonto Muturi na Leni batituire bakionana. Remember Leni na Muturi baumete kanyomba orai. But in 2022 Muturi campaigned against his own neighbor au ito Leni Kivuti. So by na historical grudges chio. So bibi baretete what brought them together actually is not an agenda. They were people working but not trusting each other. Batire etikana kebu udewa etika kionge. Among these three guys, fellas, utewa aretika kionge bwana Edward. So working in that kind of an environment, kana ni areta issue ya Matiang'i na Gachagua kurea kumbikanira to cement itende irongo kwenda kuonia nya these three guys ribarare Mbeere North batire etikana kia bado. There was this mistrust nini nondo uweri itumi urea inontu gitike CS kethe no athani ru utikithira wigibi wisaidine itu
siasa mheshimiwa kile siasa tekwendana imbi nkuona imbi ukuona
but you see now problem yao atuba utebio baraona you understand the only person akiona Karisha sinda imuturi Gachagua utebio araona ibitterness tu kumwambia I told you. Okay, nilikuambia mundu awetwa Leni Kivuti noe ikuirwa nitakupatia akakosa kufanya nini
akanyonywa
ira tu kuna kunelia ngakoro yakwarumia ikaegwa tu ikaiteta itekuya finally. So what has kept these people together is bitterness with the government, bitterness of the government of the day, either noingi either noitebura. Matiang'i, from a very reliable source, one of the advisors actually told me that batikuenda kuona Matiang'i in their camps, and that can be confirmed. Nurene lintu Mbeere North kurorona Muturi ya ukinya no muntu awito nani Munyare na no united opposition yure kuro amona in any of these by elections endo campaign anyone. That tells you there is a huge faction in the united per se.
So nende ukiongela bu ringera what kithurano kinao kia Mbeere North ikiraretete balintu remo na bao. Does it now seem that tomba kuona mazi exodus kumakiri united opposition bomo bibe choka kidrika na bange bakura sesa paibo sia 2027 ka before 2027?
Okay, one ote pact by no so far ote agreement by no kira barati zo kira ngwa it is their own personal agendas and risky ra barali no ya kwethura bomete bia ma different nonto kataka auto kuga resources is a must kanyamuno mokaka tumiro mobilization ya kanyamuka it was also difficult kira the three people nonto ande ko DP o Rombas ondo DCP. So how do we botena formula when it comes to even logistics peke yake Gachagua alichibangirewe Muturi achibangirewe Lini Kabu achibangirewe differently. So confusion area is a problem. Nande kugarande going forward the only way opposition yeje kaomba kuwatanira they have to come together now and formalize their marriage. But they are in record, in writing. Bazi tunaenda ukaraujo no kethro ri kinara wetu no kethro deputy wetu kana kinya bale ka utara ibo ugebatu tu batanta tu tukuform kintu gitawa Kenya moja kana Kenya okira bageta. Then they come together and agree the terms of operating. Kedari nabaga centralized nande the operation. That's the only time they can be able to witania. Lakini nge uninde kigogo ule kigogo. So nande no kera kigogo ongi. Mbira mimi naenda Kanyambura mimi naenda upande. Nande utakuona it becomes irrelevant. No kateka nande za UDA Ruto being the team leader of group yonde eba mwankaba Mudavadi ba obonde na nanya ODM yombo tonyizo madhabahu ndejo. So the moment they become all of them under Ruto, the command center will be one. Babo nabo kagana command center ku 50 ndeze nundurande bado na tembe bado atira da wekirwo bayuji na mara batira ne bako tonyo aya Jubilee etira reko tonya kire mix you. So the moment nande next year package upon their own powers. Kinya kutara secretary general o coalition you itakuwa kazi ngumu. No kuona kitu yako taro. Kwa no secretary general ngami si alipigwa vita paka amenyamaza. Nande atikuga iridi. So anto baba no more kabe tikiri to the point that ntombo survive ninka uti survive wenka. So nande what do we do? Ito tumekeka kuni chetu tutojekire one ship na yetu mnyoro toka amestia towards election la sivyo hawata kuna mali wataenda.
Now speaking of this Gachagua nara na voice yenene mno inda alogere Mount Kenya and reta Rubungoro. So niata ke yagwira anturingi ber no embu niera very hostile because niora mbere president Yoweri Rwembu Rayeli and then Rubungoro ra idura yukiruru kurura naroro wa no lokete. So aina voice ringe Mount Kenya
bana Edward you lock yere kuringa na manto yaro badhiviria na kiuri giki ko uru mnogo during itarira His Excellency the former president yari ofisine ri no na wari nyumeke no na wa muthurungite no na wa mugareti o Mount Kenya wa weta Mount Kenya kana Mount Kenya East in the list ya torire ya antu baba ofisine we how many people okay county wa ngania na ngani te muise no kuma meru akariona nona ke hand bawe ibana wone bakuma Mount Kenya this side dinere ya murerere mbere nire wetakuwa o etanya western anga intomera ni mto mlima etanare intomera mto mlima be na nontawa mto mlima okay kwa Mount Kenya East ye weta Mount Kenya East yetu utebwa yabo so manto ya kuri na eta bando vena sia itera itanjiri ruare because already uhuru nare te webelie te ne ka Jubilee no we patelinda na omenye uhuru agetho na we muno Mount Kenya inyawe. So as the scrambling ekureze Mount Kenya continues mto wetoruta agetho na very easy time yo kolokira kwa muno because together twina mto ya Kibaki na Matiba twina uhuru twina Gachagua na twina bange bari ya Meru batendete kuriana na antu bange bari ya Bongo kinya wagetho we command their own following this other side kana be kinya na mtu ya Matiang'i. But what will happen now kiri Gachagua are kulusite kia mbere kira arasite kiti muno lakini mtu we nara onete witwa Cleopas Malala ya mwiratiri kindiki is not a pushover tika mtu ka wiki uwa athwanagia uwa bara thayo mwitha soprano ara tukucionthe mwira Mr. Soprano bakwelewa ri he can plan no abange na kathithi. So to the former deputy president akethwe na hard time ya kwere kuimprove mono kinya kibange na kinya kibe bauba United opposition akere we prove kevo mono but kindiki akuibangira line yewe boya because akia ko lose anto bara bakanjire wete te deputy president bobangi When you are at or not, if you are home, but you never mammy, we have been able to deliver 3 seats in a Korean being MC to take a So,
wow.
That is it.
Mheshimiwa Kirinya tukiri kile mpango yo. Now kuringana na resort itira of course resort itira official lakini ito kuona through online na whatever ile with the preliminary results itaonekana UDN sindite bidhato bio bunge.
Yes.
Banisa
Kinya bia
tututa la BBMCA Banisa Bere North na Malava.
Yes.
Na Baringo.
So
Baringo is senator.
Bina.
So tuke kuringana na result yu tukuona thai iri sieterio confirmwa nya IPC inewika William Samoei Ruto ura utreta campaign ne kinya noemo.
Well, honestly speaking, I'm not a very big fan of William Samoei Ruto, but you see today we are analyzing politics as the year. Oni kura ntekonania kama ya muringira whether achinda kana atechinda ntamuringire 2022, but you see you must give credence where it's due. Ruto is a very shrewd politician. Imuntu ithabure siasa na ichiori banga properly na upper hand ya uchinda iti. Let's be honest, looking at uraba baba kuruibo bo uchinda nabo nti kuona bakireta the kind of energy that is needed. I want to remind you, Edward, that in the year 2021 Kiambai kwa by-election by-election. The government of the day, which was Jubilee, fielded candidates in both by-elections. But the UDA, which was about 6 months old, defeated government. Ile ona mheshimiwa nanibo yete wokia weta wa Kiambi Ngaruni no are first child wa okiamaka UDA bena ureta wa Kawanjiku wanara Kiamba na riu Jubilee nyayo ne feuded candidates bayo. That tells you what journey ya mtu wito William Samoei Ruto, you must admire it. Nyoka thira we harshest critic way only am a critic of William Samoei Ruto, but I admire how he plans his politics. You must give it to him. Just like Mbira Anto mamonye dhiri to mwingire kwebuo aichi ku excite ground dira other annual ground na ichi wetate, which is again quite unmatched from other ni. So we must, even as we analyze politics, even as we say 1, 2, 3, no place Ruto at an upper hand in 2027 campaigns. Kwa tukaini trend no meote no akinya inje shewe atomire tu alituma kina Mudavadi na nani huko Malava atuma deputy we na umbere no thamura wewe deal na hiyo nara Baringo ataenda competition aita Gideon Moi no na nontu na ije no buru a Gideon Moi yake ya kurwa metiki kwa tano ageta akyo nontu no is a child of Baringo ira buru Gideon Moi nya kirwa ma are independent itigira agita ate no ndakwira how he succeeded is by having a dialogue with Gideon Moi na bibio makosa United Opposition ni bathithirie mbere no bare awita Duncan Boy bakaranthi no bamuita ate bamumanage. Ruto managed Gideon Moi, whatever he told him atampatia na nini remains anonymous. Lakini the other day ndonere Gideon Moi etete mchamanio etete some gala nambi aviati thirikari naambia is very huge state protection. Maybe that's what he was asking for, state protection nini akarua boy nontu beche na chio na we itike ni utete ombaibisha na kwetumbi muchi. So Ruto has been placed on a pedestal where is one of the top brains in politics currently na baraba goro United Opposition one iba idharadhare na gantuka with resources properly because William Samoei Ruto narekakia mundu oyo to Kindiki Kithure is one of the most generous politician you will ever come across.
What are you saying?
Is one of the most generous politician you come across. Professor Kindiki Kithure.
Go confess.
Is I am confessing and also telling you now the truth. Is one of the most generous politician you will come across. So no mwanka United Opposition be ready resource wise. Bamenya ibo chindana na antu baile baiche kurakia kanyamu. In fact, I am telling you, Bwana Edward, whether we sit here, tuende angaito athuri njenzi, tuathuri bao nini, when money is involved, ukaulo no athuri.
Na nyate kanyamu aki. Yeah. Uwa kuga ni ya witness. Ugeta kwa kendiki nye irio akibia kiu. You eat. Yani na nyaka uga potanyira ingine comes. So it's I think utina uchidanira. So the guy plays, you know, that cool guy. Wina resources chakungana na utidi nereo, you know, mtu wewe mwanasiasa akakwambia from the word ku hakuna shida hata kama ni kulala no turale ku utidi ndaburu na ndio mtu akakwea akeneka your expectations akachi manage properly. That is the politician.
Wow. So karute wetu kirigiria imubangu kuinantu barimero ko bainiteru imboro one time for a very long time. Bamete Lintore, Papita Munya. Where does this put them?
The same continues because by Namalengo.
Do they stand a chance here going one time?
You see,
as it is now.
You see, what MPs have been doing for the last 2 weeks. By Batori Tevonda Nainya Namwiri. Kwendia agenda thirikari tuta the one time team nione tere nirare mimbi na mbere but bake ya once in a while kware brava ko bakuibo kwaria but I am telling you the truth, the current leadership baraba iko bakere ko detera the two term government mono nonto iba kwenda kudharira their constituencies. Na kinyaun ugea gudhate two people, the senator and the governor. Pai nake two term. Kinyaun ingeta ndege one term. Iro rumo rwina mureo. Ina ongeda ndi nau. But because of governor, temeo ruina because now the governor arita kuira into nare yaka wa two term. Ele meazo temea wita nenwete gorura sibitari adhane to 1 billion na kwa thirika tura ero president na kendekene ite gorura awa for that reason two term. Na ingama for that reason one term butumbika tutemea wita nirio. But at the moment I know at the moment but we tukareti au no ntobwa what we are getting. Me anje sweta nile na ito wa mori tokurogera ngoichi yetu na mantu yetu ya turtari after bina na takwa kara abere bogono ne bo ambia na nya bo ruweta atia bokona etha ito gariti thirikari tuteo migare no ntobo bingi katwaringere kura ngiri mana yana. We have not renewed any contract with the current government. Tutari renew uninda ringere ruto kura eana gweyana na kure taringirite thirikari iri ku ni wi agenda iringirite na gyama kya no peu lakini nge chionde ndaringirite
onda watere 0 out of 6
thirikari u no nto etegenda etege lose ite bielle eteke angabana mivika na eteke akwa thirikari na miringirite kura nande woni mwanka 2027 tukiri new contract na the current regime irion ka gorio mantu yara tweri kitha yakarikite irion kogeria itha twili kana kamwe ibu onto kinyao aita na thu inda aita kastare rutha buru rwawe romze urawa ero etine antu bana thu aritira antu bana ntamu chumbura ive na singundi lakini ndre weta ndrona weta onka na chevia onka aretera antu bana thu tasoka kuna furu swing ande kuwi kiongo kwa kiongo asia baraba na boega ya bari wa utibio to kuona nande tukiri new contract me anta ba coordinate o toirete bo te ende kinya nara kureru kaba bwithi sibitari batwigire ndu arrange batubwithire tharakanithi 2027 yakinya twiranie ndi we want to renew contract itu kaiwan tugeleza tugerwa turiwa tu no ntobabona bona bo twangenji tona ne kubwa tu we say tu twangenji tona ne kubwa kwa wan na tu turiwa wan tu nao no ure ara utogwira wan no ntona no tu tokawa wan tap lakini no ore kurerwa ara gwira wan tam no ya riliweta ne utewe. So thank you very much, asante.
Ringera yes tugire kiri so to tan atukure kiri. So after all what has happened Kirima kina muntu kana is still a battleground?
It is still a battleground. Non to bako idurwa ote muntu rache identify na batwe properly. Kindiki is coming. DCP dona nera naku gatule amura lakini noko nenya mantu jawe na ndemti na taja getaita. So Kirima kire open na batwe aja tulidai to kwalia mantu resources mantu ja projects mantu ja resources mponene project to kwenda kumakirikali and all that yomba kwedro nya that's what has played in mbere ndo mbere bomba kwedra bago teka bongo alingi kura metha hii kintu kyambere twetekanire twina alingi kura well informed na ibiji akichiao na lire na ibiji what to get. So bomba kwedra kura alingi kura banya bongo para tegere bona either hii twetakire one term etulingira lese Karis DP Ibia Kaleta is not in the government. Kiamaki get in the government. So ataleta nini ore indakwale nini Faruku Kibete rera antuba Malaba mukichagua indakwale kesho stima barabara fulani inaanza kutengenezwa hii na hii azi ukataka mtura wenara utena stima kananjira weta adidwa ataka kona ende kulingira unge akiuga kena muluya nande achi identify ende unge ndalingira maybe barabara eno hidi kama maybe
kadri magute wrong because ukona nto ya baba Bowino they are doing well and they're not in government
lakini nakuna ndi bo batira chichanganya
muyaro utaguma parliament yake inaka ai menya nyenje ku
na plus ataji mix
nyatiji na maja usire kako nyuba
sibyo nande ukateka ajo yani utaka mbagini ukateka kona tutiredi video tuambe tudirania bio tena leto 27 ndio iwani atuko tutajipangia wapi huko nande nyama Mount Kenya omba kudugania kure ucheta mbere ni uko wakara no yomba kedro dai hata batoga tiga tukale au eture muntu nyamiro tukona twagerete kusukuma mono tu one time lakini tuataka tuona no tuite nao ndi arafu tuita naona nderu twalega tuidira level 6 hospital alega tuidira ngambi tutampu tunapotelea hapo mwaka miaka idire na tukwire dine tutikwa na dine chetu. So the best thing the government of the day when you are not close to that government nanandeja batu in this case tulipigie kura serikali tuameringire kura bwega so it is ours na tutombo karaome tutikira baranya bata meringire kura ya ODM pende nao sherekea digongo na watu na tuempione so lazima ikuwe namna hiyo. So Mount Kenya igakaraire open for some time nuntu bakwithirwa kwena confusion igukiria tu hivi gogobi no tega uru nako kwe direction nako na kuwezana kwe antu bako mudikira na atiko bako na proper direction aya kashakwe nako na kuwezana direction indi atina enough power ere no tegete kashakwe na leti dirikari ni ali utena wali chiringira no yakanda na tukulewa no mona gweta kire account ukwe withdraw ake no deposit how lottery. So tukijo kija 2027 what will happen I don't know. Nande Mount Kenya igakaro mwakale nande next year kadira nande ara MPs baba dirikari ne ministers baba dirikari ne nande bakaumiria nande baumiria ukarotea kugara ne bambire kugeji nande onire ndo buge two term kana one term based on history kana based on my expectation nande based on mane ara uroka move that the most people raba in the resources au no nande Mount Kenya mbagwita na kaire Mount Kenya dai anyway kinyeka ronge ka presidential candidate ete mbako make sense dai.
Wow. Thank you bwana Ringerano, tupo na kanya kwa kile mbango yo arwe siasa. Franklin, asante sana mheshimiwa Kirinya. Thank you very much. Na kiri tegere betu ba Weru TV. Tuweta nambere kumedhe mantu yora yukidhira yeta nambere, lakini kuringana na Mpumi irachi ite confirmed ni IEBC ni kuona ni ya UDA nisko ete kabisa. Nontu ni kuona irona ni ya mbere ibayo kitie Malava wamechukua, Panisa wamechukua, Mko Baringo wamechukua. So poetera ni wetera confirmation kana ntumiri official kumakiri IEBC kenda twethira tukimenya nuwo wengo wethira aitarwa kumania na official communication kuma kiri IEBC. So weta na mbere kuthiatira mitandao yetu na kuthiatira nteto cietu cia Weru ndukiri tugetha turiho aringi no ntuba kuthiatira mantu ya so ukethira wita kuraya na mitandao yetu na kinya kiri Weru TV. It has been done and dusted. Thank you very much.